What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to Daily Upside. I'm your host, Keen Rivals. This is your first time listening to this podcast, to this show. This is where we talk about sports cards, NBA, and we try to I try to help you make money off this market. Today we're going to be getting to some NBA news, some NBA Top Shot, and just going over some auctions from last night, kind of giving you my opinions on what I thought about the ending prices and how things are going to continue to either move up or move down as we get back into this NBA season. So starting off with some NBA news, as most of you heard, Westbrook is like not happy in Houston. I'm assuming he's getting to the point in his career where he just wants to win the NBA championship. A lot of people just want to win, these championships. Um, or maybe he wants to be a star again. I don't know, but we know he's not happy in Houston. So there's probably some trades that are going to happen. And if we're being honest, I'll probably say Houston's probably not too happy with Westbrook as well. They're getting really close every year, and they don't want to be close anymore. They want to win. So yeah, a lot of the buzz right now is how he might be going to the Clippers or to the Knicks. I personally feel like Westbrook is perfect for the Knicks. They kind of have that same attitude, play hard, never win. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like sports cards, a lot of you are asking me what I thought. I don't think it matters. I think Westbrook's a good player. I don't think he's going to be the guy to have like insanely high sports cards. And honestly, that guy kind of just comes around every now and then. In the past, I felt like that guy was always a power forward, like Chris Bosh or maybe Dwayne Wade to a certain extent. But we're starting to see such a guard heavy league that it's impossible for everybody to just be fans of all these guards. Every team has an elite guard, and that's going to water down the market on these guards. So I don't think Westbrook's going to, make a big impact regardless of where he goes. I mean, he's a great player, triple double every night if he wants to, MVP. But I think that's kind of it for his career. I think he's going to continue to play well, play hard. But yeah, in terms of sports cards, he's kind of that one guy you just don't want to get caught up holding. He's going to do well, but he may not do well forever. If I had to compare him to a modern player, you could say, Donovan Mitchell is a really good example. Like that guy that's just he's really good, but he's just not going to get the love. In the past, maybe like DeMar DeRozan, you kind of see them falling off as their career, gets heightened. So yeah, excited about the trade opportunities because him being on the Knicks, pairing up with RJ Barrett or something could definitely give us some more love to RJ Barrett. But I don't see anything happening with Westbrook per se. If he goes to the Clippers, that might be a different story. With just hype alone. So, them pairing up with if they have Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi, I mean, that would just be insane. So, if he goes to the Clippers, definitely look out. If he goes to the Pistons, same thing. Who cares? It's no different than Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin's another good example of that, guy who was like dominant, who could dunk, who was great, and then we just kind of forgot about him. So yeah, that's kind of it for the Westbrook news. So for those of you who are wondering, I think Westbrook's I think he's going to decline. I don't think he's somebody who should have ever been, in the limelight in terms of sports cards to begin with. Next up, I thought this was a pretty good article. The Mavericks have a late pick in the draft, or kind of a mid to late pick in the draft, and I was looking at some of the mock drafts, and I was just blown away by some of the talent that was down there. Cole Anthony, R.J. Barrett, even Nico Mannion, like or however you say his name, depending on if you like that kind of player. He didn't play too well in college, but we know he has game. And I'm not gonna lie, like this little article got me really excited about the Mavericks. Like just their overall potential. They're so young. We talk about the Hawks, we talk about the Suns. Like the Mavericks are there. They have Porzingis, they have Luca. If they can get one of these, like shot creator or scoring creators, or just like one of these guys to kind of open up some space on the floor, that would be insane. Like RJ Hampton is a really elite prospect. He's just not that highly ranked. Due to his like playing overseas and things, and he doesn't have as much hype as LaMelo. But coming into that, they were kind of neck and neck. LaMelo just has a better build, a better frame, so he's projected to do better. But I like RJ Hampton a lot. I think he can definitely play alongside Luca, and so can Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony is going to be like that Kobe White kind of guy. In my opinion, where he's gonna turn up and surprise a lot of people. And we always get these picks late in the draft. Kevin Porter Jr. is a really good example. That guy that everybody kind of slept on, but we all knew he had the talent. He just had to put it together. So yeah, I think the Mavericks definitely have some options here at 18. But not least, I wanted to touch on this article. A lot of you were kind of bummed out that Jason Tatum wasn't listed, and I was too. I didn't understand having a top 5 article with LeBron and Anthony Davis. I think that's just kind of like lazy writing, in my opinion. I really did like the Jokic pick because you don't really think of him as a top 5 player, but on paper he definitely is. And Giannis and Luca are kind of obvious. So look, this is why I'm starting my Twitch streaming channel because I want to have these kind of conversations with you guys, but I just want to make them a little more sports cards angle. I want to talk about who the top picks are, in Prism, or who the top picks are in Optic and National Treasures. So if you guys, want to go ahead and follow the Twitch channel, it is up. I'll leave a link on Twitter. You can check it out. Again, I'm about 90% done now. I got a lot done yesterday, and I'm putting those final touches on everything today. So I should be able to start streaming come this weekend. So definitely hit me up if you're interested in that. Once we kind of get everything done, we're just going to be full throttle here. So I'm really, really excited about it. All right, so that's enough of the NBA news. Not a lot going on today, just more rumors. I want to bring up some investment opportunities for you guys. So you guys know I'm pretty big on NBA Top Shot, and that's one of the things we're going to be streaming about as well. And this is their marketplace, and you can see there's some really, some really high end cards or moments going here. This Luca's going for 200. I think that's actually a pretty solid deal, and these are going to be the kind of things that I'm going to get into within the next couple of weeks and really show you guys how to use this platform for those of you who are interested. I understand it's not for everybody, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you can definitely see the potential here. So hopefully you guys are a favorite of this. And right now they're doing something really cool, where they have these challenges. And essentially what it is, if you hold a particular set of moments, so in this challenge you need 9 of these moments. So as you can see here, if you hold Devontae Graham, James Harden, Jimmy Butler, and the rest of these guys, then you unlock the LeBron James moment. And for a few of you, you're like, whatever, LeBron James is cool, but who cares? It's a lot bigger than that. These moments are really expensive. So the odds that, one individual has on 9 of these is going to be extremely rare. So the way this kind of works is that even there's only 50 of these available for each player. Let's just say 20 people hold on 9. Well, then it's only going to be 20 LeBron James moments printed. So he won't be numbered to 50. He'll be numbered to 20, or, whatever the number is. And that's going to make this one of the rarest moments, in the genre. And this is the hollow. So this is one of the high end ones. And we could see like they just did one with Trey Young recently. And a similar thing happened. Only 25 people held the requirements to unlock the Trey Young. And he's going for $2,600 at the low end, and only a few people are selling them. So it's kind of like if you don't get one, you just won't get one because a lot of people are holding them. So you can imagine what a LeBron James moment would go for. I mean, it could be $10,000. It could be $20,000. There's a lot of potential with these NBA moments, and they're building some really, really cool things. So I'm looking to really dive into this. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's a new way to, hold on to some NBA moments and collect and invest in things of that nature. So again, we'll get more into these NBA moments, with Top Shot as we stream, as we get, more of the content out. But I thought I would just show it to you guys for those of you who are like, I need to get on this now. I need a jump start. I don't have time to wait for you to figure your setup out. So definitely check out the app if you got any questions. There's some people in the Discord that can help you for those of you who are subscribed. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, moving into some actual other investments, I was at Target yesterday getting a few things for the setup, and you can't go to Target without looking at the card section, right? So I go over to the card section, and they don't have like too much basketball. Again, they had some contenders draft picks. I picked up a box of 2, which I'll open up later on for you guys, just for fun. And then they had like some Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. They had that like Charizard set. I can't think of the name. And then they had the Yu-Gi-Oh set where you get the blue-eyed white dragon. I'm not really too into those things. I played Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon as a kid, like every other person did. So I picked up a few, boxes just to hold. And I'm like, hey, $10, $50, I'll hold them, see what happens 10, 20 years from now. Worst come to worst, my kids open them. And it got me thinking, like, there's probably just some really good box or some really good investment opportunities within sports cards. So I started to look, and some of the ones I thought of was like just Revolution. Galactic's one of the top cards you can get in the sports cards market. There's Prism Silver, Prism Blue Ice, or there's Select Courtside Silver. And then there's like National Treasures, Immaculate, and Galactic. Those are like the creme de la creme, cards. And here you can just grab this Revolution box for $6.99 of one of the top draft classes. of all time, in my opinion. I would say like, the 2018-19 draft class is pretty solid, and probably the 2017-18 as well. And $700, and you have a chance to pull a Luka Doncic Galactic or a Trey Young Galactic, like that's, or a Shea Gilgeous Alexander Galactic or a Michael Porter Jr. Galactic, And same goes for 2017-18. Jason Tatum Galactic, Donovan Mitchell Galactic. Like you have a Bam Adebayo Galactic, De'Aaron Fox. I think this could be a box that could go up in price. Imagine if 2009, 2010 had a revolution, like if there was like a Steph Curry revolution, that would be such an expensive box. And here we are with Luca just ready to go. So I'm starting to look into maybe charting these kind of things, talking about boxes with you guys, some boxes that I'm picking up or holding. Um, it's an idea. So let me know what you guys think about that. If you want me to kind of get into this kind of content, it's probably something I'm going to start doing, maybe just for fun. And if I can, really figure it out and bring some value to you guys, then I can start talking about it. But I think 2018-19 is definitely a play for some of these boxes. I mean, it just makes sense to me. We got a mega box going for $600, but you can get a hobby box revolution for 700. There's some things to talk about here. So let me know what you guys think about that. Moving on to sports cards, let's talk about some auctions that ended last night. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but every day I send out a newsletter talking about some of the cards that I think you might want to look into. This is like, you got the target price here. I tell you what price I think the card's going to end at. And yeah, this is just a list of cards that I think that has solid, upside. I think there's some good investment potential in these. And yeah, if you want to get this, definitely sign up to the newsletter. The link's down below. All you have to do is head to the site, type in your email address, and you're good to go. You'll get that every day. So yeah, one of the cards that ended last night was the 2003-2004 Fleer EX LeBron James card. So I thought I would show you guys this because we were talking about Revolution earlier, and Fleer EX kind of reminds me of Evolution. You got this really hard to grade base card that's somewhat limited, but somewhat not that sought after. And then you have like the EX Credentials card that's like the creme de la creme. If you got that card, you're the ultimate LeBron James collector or the ultimate Kobe collector. And for me, I think Galactic's the same way. Like if you have a Galactic, you're like the ultimate whoever you own collector. So why wouldn't like the base card from that set be worth money? And I think long term, this shows you that it will be. The credentials of this card is like it's like beyond feasible, if you get the high end parallel. So a lot of people are coming back and they're buying the base. They're like, hey, I can't get the credentials. I can't get that top notch card. So I'm going to come back and buy the EX card. And as we can see, these are kind of limited in grading. They're hard to grade and the value is kind of shooting up. So I think that's a really good play for Revolution and why I'm kind of interested in buying those boxes. It's also why I kind of like Revolution as the next set to pop. I think it's going to be one of the first non-chrome sets to really pop. So let me know what you guys think about that analysis. Really big on these. Outside of Revolution, this also kind of reminds me of Clearly Donruss, being that it's kind of like that see-through card. So that could also be a play. Obviously, these are hard to grade, and so are the Donruss cards. So, once we start seeing like PSA 10s of the Clearly Donruss, those might be a pickup of your favorite players. If you like John Morant, Zion, you might want to grab those guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what you think about, kind of comparing it to Revolution or Clearly Donruss. And if you see that same thing happening with Revolution. We got another LeBron James card here, 2003, 2004 SPX. I remember collecting this card or wanting this card as a kid. I was big into Josh Howard back then, Dallas Mavericks. I had a ton of Josh Howard cards. So yeah, ended for a pretty good price here, about $15,000. So definitely up there. I think it's a little low for this card, to be honest. I mean, LeBron James autographs are hard to come by, and this card being numbered to, I believe it was 750, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 750. It's going for the same price as his Topps Chrome or whatever. So might be something for you high end guys to look into. This one has some solid subs. What I'm noticing here is that these BGS or PSA 9 and BGS 9, we're seeing that even though I think this is kind of undervalued, we're seeing these cards are going for top dollar. Like that's a lot of money, regardless of how it's value compared to some of his other cards. And we talked about this in yesterday's newsletter. That's a testament to maybe we should be buying some, low grade cards. There's plenty of us passing on like PSA 9 courtside silvers right now. There's plenty of us passing on PSA 9 Prism silvers or PSA 9 Immaculates. I actually picked up a PSA 9 impeccable of Michael Porter Jr., for this very reason. There's not that many of them. They're thicker cards. They're not all going to grade a 10. And if Michael Porter Jr. did something special, that's going to be one of his go-to cards because he doesn't have an immaculate. So, it's something to think about when you're investing in these people long term. A lot of you talk about long term investing, and you're not buying anything for long term. You're like you're buying it for the next 6 months. So if you are a long term investor, think about how limited some of these cards actually are, and how favored that BGS 9 or that PSA 9 will be in 10 years, because you're not going to be able to buy any raw cards of this and grade it and get a 10 back, because that's going to be impossible. Look at the corners on this thing. So yeah, I feel like the next card's a 9 too. Yep, it is. So same thing here. I mean, Topps Chrome Stephen Curry, number to 999. Obviously, one of the iconic cards in sports, in my opinion. Probably one of the most iconic modern day cards in basketball. Another good example of a BGS 9 going for $6,600. When I first charted these cards, you can get a PSA 10 Curry for like $2,500. And I was like, it's too much or whatever. Definitely regret that. But you could have got a BGS 9 for even cheaper, maybe like $1,000. So these have 6 decks since then, and yeah, there's plenty of us passing on PSA 9 Prism Silvers right now, or BGS 9 Prism Silvers. So if you're a long-term guy, you heard what I just said. Definitely think that this card is just going to continue to rise. Stephen Curry is all time. This card is just all time. Like, this should not be a modern day card. This looks like something that was made 30 years ago. So definitely got to get my hand on one of these. If you're in the Steph Curry market, if you're a Steph Curry investor, um, I think his Chrome cards are going to keep going up, and that's just going to pull his other cards right up with him. I mean, the gap between Steph Curry cards are insane. It's like you can get a PSA 10 Prestige for $400, or you can pay $6,000 for his Topps Chrome. That doesn't make sense to me. Eventually, people are going to get priced out of these, and they're just going to start buying the Prestige and the Panini and whatever other rookie card that he has. And I think that it's smart to kind of buy those now. Next, we're actually going to get into today's morning bins. So you guys know I'm packaging this up as one newsletter now. You get daily upside and morning bins at the same time. It's coming out a little late right now because I'm still kind of figuring out everything. But yeah, I think this is a really good buy right here. I did some analysis on Jason Tatum and I compare him to Trae Young. And if you look at their card prices, every Jason Tatum card is higher than Trae Young except his optic. I think his Prism PSA 10 Silver is going for $3,000. Trae Young's Prism PSA 10 Silver is going for like $2,300. His Prism PSA 10 is going for like $600. And then we got Trae Young is going for like $515. But then we have his Donruss Optic, which is going for like $250. And Trae Young's Donruss Optic is going for $275. So, not a lot of, gap there in between price. Like, you're not going to buy this lot and become rich or anything of that nature just off that analysis. But it shows you that these kind of are undervalued. And if Jason Tatum comes out and he does what he's supposed to do, and he continues to, ascend, then these are probably going to go up and be worth a little bit of money. So what else we got here? We got Michael Porter Jr. So we have his select courtside silver. I think this kind of really wraps the episode up. A lot of people aren't willing to take gambles on these type of cards because they're just not, I don't know why. I mean, this one's going for $580, which is definitely, expensive. It's not a cheap card. It's not something to really gamble on. The seller is saying that it has like some surface scratches and some scuffs. So we know off top it's not going to be a PSA 10, but can it PSA 9? Can it hit PSA 8? Courtside silver is extremely rare. We don't know how many of these are produced. Imagine if it was a raw galactic, it would easily hit $500. So I think courtside silver is right on par with that, if not more potentially sought after. So, I think it's a gamble here. If you can get it to PSA 9, if you can get it to PSA 10, we don't know how they grade these cards. They might account for scratches. We don't know. But I think it's a really rare card. I think it's going to be highly sought after, especially if Michael Porter Jr., can really turn into a superstar. If that's possible, then this might be considered a steal. So to me, looking at this high res scan, I mean, it looks good. I'm looking for the scuffs and the scratches. I don't see any, especially none that are major. If they're just talking about like some minor fingerprints or some, some a little bit of surface area here and there, I think this could be a solid potential buy. A Luca Select is like $20,000. A Trae Young Select is like for the courtside silver, probably like $7,000 to $10,000. There's Michael Porter Jr. at $500 just seems like a pretty okay deal to me. even as a raw card. So let me know what you guys think about that. If you want the full analysis, definitely check out the newsletter. All you have to do is go to this little link right here, or you can find it, in the description, in the show notes. Type in your email address and you are on board. If you want to join the Discord, if you want to sign up for the premium membership, this will also kind of give you some details on that as well. So definitely check the link in the show notes. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think about today's episode. I want to get back to putting my little station together. So hopefully we'll be live streaming on Saturday. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Happy investing.